Nature is the primal part of ourselves that we often forget. Wandering in the Rodopi Mountains gives us the opportunity to remember the essence of our existence. The Rodopi Range extends to the southern Balkans. At its southern ridge is the natural boundary between the two countries. Only a small part of the range lies in Greece and makes up the Rodopi Mountain Range National Park. The national park, in the mountain regions of Drama and Xanthi, covers an area of 170,000 hectares, which makes it one of the largest parks of mainland Greece. A tour in the Rodopi Mountain Range National Park, from the lowest to the highest altitudes, may be considered as a journey from the Mediterranean region to those of Central and Northern Europe. If you visit the park in June, for example, you can explore around the Nestos River early in the morning, looking for small birds in the Mediterranean scrub, or for otters in the river, or the Eurasian wryneck in the nearby oakwood. In the afternoon, certainly dressed more warmly, you can climb the rocky slopes of Fracto, looking for chamois and eye-catching yellow lilies, or walk in the deep shade of the spruce forests in Elatia, looking for bear tracks or the rarely seen capercaillie. The distance you cover will not be more than 32 kilometers. But you will have traveled across most of the habitats and vegetation zones of our continent. But what are the boundaries of the national park? Starting from the west, the park is bounded by the river Nestos and Mount Falakro, Bald Mountain in English. The Falakro Massif, known more for its colorful high-altitude meadows humming with life, rises like a natural wall, at the base of which flows the Nestos. The course of the river forms the southern boundary of the park. Along the Greek-Bulgarian border, where unbroken forests cover the slopes as far as the eye can see, the northern boundary of the park coincides with national borders. Here you will find forests of Norway spruce, silver birch, and gray alder unique to Greece, and one of the most valuable ecosystems of the Balkan Peninsula, the Partheno, or virgin forest of central Rodopi. The area of Dimario in the district of Xanthi marks the eastern boundary of the park, a few kilometers east of the summit of Mount Kula.
Η οικολογική σημασία του Εθνικού Πάρκου Οροσειράς Ροδόπης καταδεικνύεται από το γεγονός ότι είμαστε στη χωρική ενότητα του Εθνικού Πάρκου. 7 περιοχές έχουν χαρακτηριστεί ως περιοχές Natura, 6 περιοχές αποτελούν καταφύγια άγριας ζωής, 2 περιοχές έχουν χαρακτηριστεί ως μνημεία φύσης και 3 περιοχές έχουν πάρει τον τίτλο των βιογενετικών αποθεμάτων.
Fog hugs the forests as the first sunbeams break through. The area awakens in a haze like that of the thousands of centuries that have passed since the creation of these mountains. The Rodopi Range made its appearance millions of years ago, first as an island in the prehistoric Tethys Sea. Over time, continuous geological changes eventually formed the mountains as we know them today. Their creation preceded that of the other mountains of Greece. The difference is reflected in the rocks themselves, which are part of the old continental crust. In the Rodopi National Park, we encounter types of vegetation that are rare or unique to the area of Greece and the Mediterranean. The people who have inhabited this area have also played an important role in creating the picture we see today. The pressures put on this mountainous land by man have affected the character of the natural environment. All these factors have shaped the vegetation of the national park, with its great diversity of habitats and life forms.
Το βασικότερο χαρακτηριστικό γνώρισμα της χλωρίδας της Ροδόπης είναι ότι φιλοξενεί είδη βόρειας προέλευσης που σχηματίζουν τα νοτιότερα όρια εξάπλωσης στην περιοχή. Χαρακτηριστικό παράδειγμα είναι η ερυθρελάτη, ψυχρόβιο είδος που εξαπλώνεται στην κεντρική και βόρεια Ευρώπη.
Both in past times and in the present, this area has been a crossroads for flora and fauna. The most recent glacial period was decisive in shaping the current makeup of flora. Tens of thousands of years ago, when glaciers reached down to the central Balkans, the Rodopi Mountains were one of the southernmost refuges for plants and animals. When the ice retreated, many of these species of plants and animals remained, and remain today in the highest terrain of the mountains. The coexistence of plants of different origin gives the park unusual diversity. But what makes it even more special are the rare and endemic plant species. The Rodopi toothwort emerging through fallen leaves in early spring, the petite Rodopi snowbell in wet spots, and yellow lilies with their spectacular flowers are just some of the species endemic to these mountains. The Rodopi haberlea holds a special place among them. It belongs to what scientists call paleo-endemic plants, that is, the evolutionary representatives of ancient species that have managed to survive for over 2 million years to this day. Why, however, are the flora and vegetation of Rodopi so important?
Η απάντηση είναι ότι η σημασία είναι διπλή. Η Ροδόπη φιλοξενεί είδη βόρειας προέλευσης καθώς και βαλκανικά ενδυμικά είδη. Τα πρώτα είναι σπάνια καθώς εμφανίζονται στα νοτιότερα όρια εξάπλωσής τους, ενώ τα δεύτερα έχουν γενικά περιορισμένη παγκοσμίως εξάπλωση.
The Rodopi Mountains have remained alive for millions of years and are constantly changing. Today, are we able to evaluate these changes and to reconstruct the natural history of the region? Significant help in this assessment is offered by a particularly important type of habitat that is extremely rare in Greece. It is a special category, that is, a natural area characterized by a particular type of vegetation and known as a bog.
Υπάρχει μια ειδική μέθοδος, η μέθοδος ανάλυσης της γύρης, με την οποία ξεθάβουμε γυρεοκόκκους που βρίσκονται μέσα σε αυτό το τυρφοέλος, γυρεοκόκκους που παρήχθηκαν σε άλλες εποχές και έτσι μπορούμε να αναπαραστήσουμε τη βλάστηση του παρελθόντος.
The bogs of the Rodopi Mountains exist in 4 areas: in the Lepida forest, in the region of Livaditis, on Mount Kula, and in the Elatia forest. This last, which is also the most famous, is located almost next to the forest village of the same name.
Συγκεκριμένα, από αυτό το τυρφοέλος μπορέσαμε να αποκαλύψουμε την ιστορία της βλάστησης και αν θέλετε γενικότερα της περιοχής των 4.000 τελευταίων ετών. Βρέθηκαν πολλά και ενδιαφέροντα στοιχεία, όπως παραδείγματος χάρη διαπιστώνεται ότι η ερυθραλάτη ανέκαθεν αποτελούσε το κύριο συστατικό της δασικής βλάστησης, ότι ο άνθρωπος ήταν παρόν με επιδράσεις επάνω στη βλάστηση, ότι γύρω στα 1200 π.Χ. έγινε μια πολύ μεγάλη καταστροφή του δάσους των ορεινών θέσεων και στη συνέχεια όμως ανέκαμψε το δάσος, αφού βέβαια επεκράτησε για ένα διάστημα η σιμίδα, η οποία αποτελεί πρόσκοπο είδος που εκμεταλλεύτηκε τις χέρσες στις περιοχές. Τα τελευταία χρόνια, μετά τους νόμους που εφάρμοσε η δασική υπηρεσία και όπως φαίνεται και στην τελική φάση της ιστορίας της βλάστησης, το δάσος επεκτείνεται συνεχώς, γενικά η δασική βλάστηση επεκτείνεται συνεχώς και φτάνουμε στην εικόνα που έχουμε σήμερα.
An integral part of the natural environment of the park is its wildlife. The wealth of different habitats in the region and their physical characteristics have created a wide range of ecological niches that sustain abundant fauna. The inaccessibility of the area and, until recently, relatively limited human activity have favored the presence of rare species, especially large mammals, which have been significantly reduced or have disappeared in other parts of the country. Bird species of the boreal forest with a more northern distribution are found in these mountains at the southern limit of their range. One of them is the nutcracker, which nests in spruce forests. As spring arrives, among the sounds of the forest, one stands out. A strange, rhythmical, rattling, almost mechanical sound. That of a woodpecker drumming. It's the lesser spotted woodpecker, the smallest of all woodpeckers, and it has just located food. In the mountain meadows, few birds remain all winter long above tree line. When the snow begins to melt on the summit of Falacro, the horned lark replenishes its forces, depleted after a heavy winter. The alpine meadows will soon welcome seasonal visitors. Some will come from nearby lowlands, such as the black redstart or the common linnet, but also from distant southern regions, such as the northern wheatear. Over the past 25 years, trans-Saharan migrants that come to Europe to breed, that is, species that during migration have to cross the Mediterranean and then the seemingly impassable Sahara Desert, have suffered a prolonged and often dramatic reduction in numbers. Their familiar melodies are being lost as populations of species such as the nightingale have been slowly declining. It is the only woodpecker that migrates and the only one that cannot drill into wood because it has a weak beak and thus makes use of natural tree cavities for nesting. Human presence, though generally limited, has been continuous in the area since the Stone Age. As shown by finds in the areas of Paranesti and Arkudorema. In the past, the area was inhabited by many different groups who settled here for various historical and economic reasons. Some, like the Pomaks, continue to live and work in the eastern part of the park, perpetuating their unbreakable bonds with the natural environment and maintaining the traditional agricultural forest landscape that has now disappeared from the western part. There, the sole witnesses to the strong presence of man are the historical monuments, dozens of deserted settlements with trails or stone paths connecting them, and the stone arch bridges. Built of stone and joining the banks of the countless streams of the region, they ensured continuous paths and communication between settlements. The existence of such a complex and interesting communication network displays the distinct cultural identity of the mountain range. A major influence